Now that we have LG, Sony, and Samsung's 2022 TV prices, we can go ahead and compare them and see which might be the best for you. Hi, welcome to Zgadgetreview. Now that we have all the information that we need for Sony, LG, and Samsung TVs, I feel like it will be a good opportunity to go over the prices of the TVs, the differences of the TVs, not only within each company, but between each company, what features you can expect from each one of these companies and the respective TVs. So to get started, we're going to go with the newest technology, this being QD-OLED. In this category, we only have two companies. We have Samsung and Sony, which are going to be selling QD-OLED TVs. LG still not doing QD-OLED. I don't know if they will do it at some point, but obviously it's something to look forward to in the future. Samsung's QD-OLED TV model number is going to be the S95B. This TV as a smart platform uses Kaizen, which is Samsung's proprietary software. In this category, we have two TV sizes. That is going to be the 65-inch, and that is going to be $29.99.99. The 55-inch, which is $21.99.99. This TV is going to support HDR10, HDR10+, HDR10+ adaptive. What this means is that the TV is going to use the ambient light sensors of the TV in order to tailor the image based on the room that you're in order to maintain the artistic view of whatever you are watching. As always, Samsung will not be supporting Dolby Vision, and if you want to know why you might be missing out on some features by not having Dolby Vision support, make sure you go to the video in the description section or up here somewhere. The TV, of course, is going to support HDMI 2.1 features like 4K 120Hz refresh rates, VRR, ALLM or auto low latency mode, and it's going to support it in 4 ports. So it's going to have 4 HDMI 2.1 ports. To that, you can add FreeSync Premium Pro support, but not NVIDIA G-Sync support. Continuing with QD-OLED technology, we have Sony, and their model number is going to be the A95K. Now, Sony uses Google TV as their smart TV platform. This year, they're also introducing the BRAVIA Cam, and that is going to be included in a few TV models. In this case, the BRAVIA Cam will come included with a TV. Now, what BRAVIA Cam is going to do for you is going to allow you to do video calls, of course. It is going to allow you to use it as a calibration tool. It is going to be able to tailor and help you calibrate the TV based on the room that you're in, and it's going to do the same thing for sound. A couple of other features that this BRAVIA Cam is going to have is energy savings. And the way it's going to do that is if you're watching TV in a room and you leave the room, the TV is going to most likely dim in order to save you some power. I'm assuming also to save you on the life of the panel, because as we know, all the TVs have a certain amount of lifespan. So it is going to do that. It is going to also tell your children to step away from the TV if they get too close to the screen in order to protect their eyes. But I'm assuming most likely so kids won't be sticking their fingers all over your brand new QD-OLED TV. The BRAVIA Cam is also going to support basic gestures. You're going to be able to use your hand to turn the TV on and off, to raise the volume up and down, and things of that nature. Another feature that the TV is going to have is a TV remote finder, and that is going to make it so the TV remote emits a sound tone. If you don't know where it is, you can activate this using your voice command when you're talking to the TV, either using Google or your camera. In this category, we also only have two sizes for Sony. That's going to be the 65-inch, which is going to cost $3,999, and the 55-inch, which is going to cost $2,999.99. A few features that Sony TV is going to support is, of course, Dolby Vision, HDR10, HLG. Sony has some exclusives, being IMAX enhancement, which is going to work with compatible streaming apps. So if you have a streaming app that can give IMAX compatible content, the TV is going to tailor the image to that, and also Netflix adaptive calibrated mode. Now, what this means is that when you're watching Netflix content in general, the TV is going to use the ambient light sensor of the TV in order to change the image processing in order to maintain the artist's vision. Another exclusive feature for Sony TVs that is going to work with the PS5, auto HDR tone mapping. The TV is going to be able to sense that you have a PS5 connected. It is going to be able to figure out the type of game that you're playing, and then it's going to give you the perfect HDR depending on the content. Of course, the TV is going to support HDMI 2.1 features, that being again 4K 120Hz, VRR, AALM, out of the box. This is going to be the first year that is going to support all features out of the box. You won't have to worry about waiting for an update on the TV to get these features. What are the differences between Samsung and Sony? Quickly, of course, is pricing. As we can see here, between both 65-inch TVs is $1,000. Now, the 55-inch is only $800. Those aren't the only differences between both TVs. Another big difference between both TVs is that the Sony TV is only going to support HDMI 2.1 features in 2 of its 4 ports. So unlike the Samsung, which gives you HDMI 2.1 in all 4 ports, the only huge difference to me is when it comes to the HDR support. Again, Samsung does not support Dolby Vision, and as we can see, Sony does. The other big difference between both TVs, and obviously this matters to you if you're a gamer. If you don't play games, this doesn't mean anything to you. But if you do play games, Sony's TVs don't officially support AMD FreeSync Premium Pro or NVIDIA's G-Sync. There are reports though that if you connect the TV to a NVIDIA G-Sync supported device, that it most likely will work, but again, it isn't officially supported. In my opinion, I will say that probably Sony will stick more to what the creator's intent is when it comes to picture processing on their TVs than, of course, what Samsung is doing. Now let's move on to the OLED category. In this category, we only have Sony and LG, and it's because Samsung does not offer any other OLED TVs besides their QD-OLED. First in line is Sony, and the model is going to be the BRAVIA A90K. As I said earlier, Sony uses Google TV as a smart TV platform. Now, this TV will not include the BRAVIA cam, but is going to be compatible with the BRAVIA cam. So if you want to buy it separately, of course, you can do that and add it to this TV without any issues. This TV will also include the TV remote finder. Now, this TV only has 2 sizes, and that's going to be the 48-inch and the 42-inch. So the 48-inch is going to be $1499.99 and the 42-inch is going to be $1399.99. Now what they're saying is that this TV is similar to last year's A90J, but of course it's going to come in smaller sizes. If you want something like a computer monitor, then it's going to be the A90K, the one that you want to go with. When it comes to features, we have Dolby Vision, HDR10, HLG, again Sony exclusives, IMAX enhanced, and of course Netflix adaptive calibrated mode. Here you can find HDMI 2.1 features as well, but again the downside with Sony is that you only get 2 ports with HDMI 2.1. Up next we have the BRAVIA A80K. Again, this is OLED 4K TVs, and here we have the 77-inch at $3799.99, the 65-inch for $2499.99, then we have the 55-inch for $1999.99. It supports the same exact features as the A90K. Difference, of course, here is going to be the sizes that you have. Now, keep in mind that Sony, of course, does not advertise that these TVs having heatsink in the screen, which is something that they did last year as well. So these screens should be brighter than last year's TVs, kind of matching, if not surpassing, what LG OLED EVO technology can do. Speaking of LG OLED EVO technology, let's move on to LG's offerings. And here we're going to find top of the line OLED TV, the G2. And this is a 4K OLED TV, just like the other two from Sony. Here we have WebOS as a smart TV platform, and this is of course LG's proprietary software. And on this TV we're going to have 4 different sizes, starting with the 83-inch, which starts at $64.99.99, moving to the 77-inch for $41.99.99, and then the 65-inch $31.99.99, and finally 55-inch at $20.99.99. Now, LG TVs offer Dolby Vision, HDR10, HLG, and Dolby Vision IQ. Dolby Vision IQ uses the light sensor on the TV in order to tailor the image depending on the room that you're in to make sure that you have the perfect image no matter what room you're in. The TV, of course, is also going to offer HDMI 2.1 features that will be 4K 120Hz, VRR, ALLM, and it's going to support HDMI 2.1 features in all 4 ports of the TV. So unlike Sony, you're going to be able to get HDMI 2.1 on all 4 ports. This TV also supports both AMD FreeSync Premium Pro and NVIDIA G-Sync. Now moving on to the more popular of the models, this will be the LG OLED C2, and this year this TV, that C2, is actually going to have that EVO technology just like that G2. The big difference between both of them is that the G2 is supposed to get brighter than the C2. Starting with the 83-inch, the C2 is going to cost $54.99.99. Moving on to the 77-inch, it's going to be $34.99.99. Then we have the 65-inch for $24.99.99. Then we have the 55-inch at $17.99.99. Then we have the 48-inch at $14.99.99 and the 42-inch at $13.99.99. So as you can see here, we have every single size that you can think of covered. You can go from a gigantic TV to the smallest TV. It supports the same features as the G2. Then we move one step down to the LG OLED B2. The LG OLED B2 will not support EVO technology, so this is technically a regular OLED TV, if you want to call it that. Again, it is going to support WebOS. It is also going to have a step-down processor when it comes to this TV. That's something that is difference between the C2 and the G2. One, the processor is going to be different and it isn't going to support EVO technology. So here we have the 77-inch starting at $32.99.99. Then we have the 65-inch at $22.99.99. And then the 55-inch at $15.99.99. Of course, this TV is actually going to offer all other features as the other TVs offer, and that will be Dolby Vision, HDR10, HLG, Dolby Vision IQ, HDMI 2.1 features, and also AMD FreeSync Premium Pro and NVIDIA G-Sync. So it's going to support all the features that you can imagine for a pretty good price. And then finally, we have the LG OLED A2. And this is also a 4K TV. This is the entry level for OLED TVs. And this is going to be a huge difference between the A2 and all the other OLED TVs. One is that it's a 4K TV that only does 60 Hz. So it does not offer any, let's say, gaming features. It is great for TV shows and movies. And so the prices are going to be 65-inch at $2,000, 55-inch at $1,500. There's going to be a 48-inch offered in this model, but we don't have pricing for it yet. You won't get, again, HDMI 2.1 features. You only get HDMI 2.0 features. So looking at the big differences between LG and Sony, we're going to get to features first, and then I'm going to look at pricing, because of course pricing is going to be different. When it comes to features, there aren't a lot of differences, except if you are a gamer. If you're someone who plays video games, then most likely LG is going to be the better choice for you. And the reason why I'm saying that is because of the AMD FreeSync Premium Pro and G-Sync from NVIDIA. Sony, as I said, does offer NVIDIA G-Sync, not officially, but besides those two features, there isn't a huge difference feature-wise. Well, I guess, of course, the 4 HDMI 2.1 port support on LG versus only 2 on Sony. Now let's move on to pricing. That trend goes LG G2 is going to be more expensive than Sony, and then we have the C2, which is going to be the cheaper of the 3. Now let's look at the smaller sizes. As we know, we have Sony A90K offering the 48 and 42 inch, and then we have the C2 offering the 48 and 42 inch. So there, I guess it will come down to the features that it offers and how much brighter the A90K might get get over the C2. Now let's move on to mini LED TVs. And here we have Sony, LG, and Samsung with offerings within mini LED TV. And also this is going to be the last category that I'm going to compare. I'm not going to go past mini LED TV. I'm not going to go into LED TVs. In my opinion, I will say that we have Sony, Samsung, and LG in that order. So Sony number 1, Samsung number 2, and LG number 3. I feel like LG isn't putting as much effort when it comes to mini LED TV and LED TVs as Sony and Samsung do. Let's go over what each company offers, the differences within each company, because Samsung has 2 different models for mini LED TV in a couple of categories. And here's where we have 8K offerings from all 3 companies and also 4K offerings. So let's start with Samsung. Samsung's going to have 2 8K mini LED TVs, and that is going to be the QN900B, and we're going to have 3 sizes for the 8K TVs. We start with the 85 inch, and that is going to cost $84.99.99. The 75 inch is going to cost $64.99.99. Then we're going to have the 65 inch at $49.99.99. We also going to have again the same features when it comes to HDR. We're going to have HDR10, HDR10 Plus, HLG, no double vision, again HDMI 2.1 features, of course. Here's where the huge difference comes between these TVs and older TVs is that there's only one HDMI 2.1 port, so that's something to consider. AMD FreeSync Premium Pro is going to be supported, but not NVIDIA's G-Sync. And then we move on to the QN800B. Again, we're only going to have 3 sizes, 85 inches starting at $64.99.99, 75 inches for $46.99.99. Then we have that 65 inch for $34.99.99. And this TV, of course, is going to support the same things that the other one does. Again, only one port will support HDMI 2.1 features. But what are the big differences between the QN900B and the QN800B? Starting with sound. The QN900B is going to support Dolby Atmos and is going to have 90 watts of power when it comes to sound. The QN800B will not support Dolby Atmos and it only has 70 watts of power when it comes to sound. Now, the panel's also different. The 900B offers a VA panel versus the 800B offers an IPS panel. Now let's move on to Sony. It's going to offer the 8K Z9K mini LED TV. This TV also will come packaged with the BRAVIA cam. And the TV, of course, is also going to offer the TV remote finder. Now this TV only has 2 sizes, and that is starting with the 85 inch, and that is going to be $9,999. And then we have that 75 inch, which is $69.99.99. The Sony TV is going to offer Dolby Vision, HDR10, HLG. It is going to, of course, also support IMAX enhanced content and Netflix adaptive calibrated mode. The TV also is going to support auto HDR tone mapping if you have a PS5 connected to the TV. HDMI 2.1 features in all 4 HDMI 2.1 ports. And now let's move on to LG's 8K mini LED TV offering. This technically is a TV that came out last year. The model is going to be the mini LED 99 series. We have the 85 inch at $34.99.99, 75 inch at $27.99.99, and the 65 inch at $19.99.99. The TV, of course, is going to offer Dolby Vision, HDR10, HLG, and Dolby Vision IQ. It is also going to offer HDMI 2.1 features in all 4 ports. Now, of course, a big difference between all TVs is pricing. Sony TVs in this category are super expensive. So I am going to move LG out of this whole comparison because to me, as I said at the beginning, LG isn't the greatest when it comes to LED technology. Between Sony and Samsung, of course, just from price point, Samsung is going to take it, right? Samsung is going to take the cake. Sadly, my only issue with Samsung is the lack of Dolby Vision support. Up next, we have the 4K mini LED TVs. And this, of course, is also Sony, LG, and Samsung. And here prices should be a little more competitive between each of the manufacturers. We're going to start again with Samsung, and Samsung has their Neo QLED TVs. This is the 4K mini LED TVs. The model is going to be the QN90B, and we start with the 85-inch at $4999.99, followed by the 75-inch at $3499.99, and then we have the 65-inch for $2599.99, and the 55-inch for $1899.99, and the 50-inch for $1599.99. And so the features, of course, that you can expect on this TV are again HDR10, HDR10 Plus, HLG, HDR10 Plus adaptive, and no Dolby Vision. The TV will support HDMI 2.1 features, but it's only going to support it on one port. Now let's move on to the next one. This is also a 4K mini LED TV. This is going to be the Neo QLED 4K QN85B. That starts with the 85-inch at $3999.99, followed by the 75-inch at $2799.99, then the 65-inch at $1999.99, and then the 55-inch at $1499.99. Again, this TV is going to support the same features as the 90B, one port with HDMI 2.1. Well, the big difference between both TVs is going to be, again, quantum HDR support. Quantum HDR support with the 90B is going to be 32x, while the 85B is going to have 24x. Another difference is going to be the type of dimming that it uses. So that QN90B is going to have ultimate UHD dimming, and then we're going to have the QN85B, which is going to use supreme ultra high definition dimming. Now let's go to Sony's offering. Again, Sony's 4K mini LED TV is going to be the X95K. This TV does not include the BRAVIA cam and does not include the TV remote finder, and the prices are going to be 85-inch at $5499.99, 75 inches at $3799.99, 65 inches at $2799.99. Now this TV, of course, is going to offer Dolby Vision, HDR10, HLG, IMAX enhanced, HDMI 2.1 features in 2 ports. And finally, let's go to the LG 4K QNED or QNED 80. This is the 4K mini LED TV offering from LG. We have the 75-inch at $1799.99, 65-inch at $1299.99, 55-inch at $999.99, 50-inch at $899.99. Now here we have HDMI 2.1 features, and that's going to be in 2 ports. This TV will not support AMD FreeSync Premium Pro or NVIDIA G-Sync. Between these 3, or I guess 4 offerings between Samsung, Sony, and LG, I will have to give it to Sony. Sony, to me, has a more complete package over Samsung and, of course, LG. LG, again, in this category is, to me, out of the race. So I'm going between Samsung and Sony. And Sony takes it, even though it's a little more expensive, because a more complete package. It does give you all the HDR features that you want. It gives you pretty much all the HDMI 2.1 features that you want. To me, paying that extra amount for Sony, to me, makes sense, and you get a better TV overall with Sony than you do with Samsung. All right, so now that we have all information for all TVs going from QD-OLED all the way to mini LED TV, which is the best to get? When it comes to QD-OLED, I think these technologies are brand new and they're going to have a premium. And I will wait an extra year to jump into those technologies. So we have Sony and Samsung fighting it out for QD-OLED supremacy, right? To me, Sony is a better choice because of the type of image you're going to get from Sony. They're not going to boost up things like Samsung is doing. And there's proof that Samsung is doing this. That's, to me, the two big differences, right? Price with Sony and the way that Samsung is handling the image on the TV. Those two things, depending on what you prefer, you're going to make a decision there. Now, when it comes to OLED TVs, Sony and LG fighting it out, I will go with the company that has been doing it the longest, and that is LG. LG C2 or G2, aka ridiculous pricing from Sony, which means Samsung takes it. And again, for 4K mini LED TV, Sony offers the better TV price-wise and features-wise. So those are my choices personally of the way I will buy these TVs if I was in the market to buy TV. I guess it's time for you to let me know which TV would you buy if you could buy one of these TVs. Which one are you leaning towards now that you have all the information? Also, let me know if this guide was helpful in the comment section. You know, I'm always reading comments and I like answering your questions, and also sometimes you guys give me information that I didn't even know, which is always helpful. That is it for me. Go ahead and subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Go ahead and hit that bell so you can be alerted every time we have new videos. Thank you very much for watching.